said the thing wrong with Liberia really is it's the leaders, it's the corrupt system, and it's the people. The people always saying, oh, we don't play a role. You guys do play a role. You guys fall into what the government puts upon us. Come on now.
Because we don't stand up for ourselves.
We can. Because think of it like this, mommy. Doesn't the army and all that work with I'm not going to say Congress because this isn't the United States, but doesn't they work within their liability with the government and the head of the household? Don't they work together? Don't the army, the president, don't they all work together? So that's a whole force against a whole other nation. The whole country's literally split in half. And then people like you, okay, I guess you're trying to bring it together. But, like, come on now. I mean, raising money will do a lot. It can fix the damages and all that. But I'm just saying, I think...
It can't even fix the damages.
It can't,
There are policies
I think the thing wrong with the whole country is it's gone corrupt. It really has gone corrupt. And the only way you can really fix that is if the people start agreeing with the government and the government starts finding ways of which the people can agree with them. Start coming up with better plans and better future for the future of the country. They're just thinking of present time.
Programs.
Like, can you name one thing? I'm not gonna say I know all about George Weah or whatever, or Charles Taylor or whatever, but can you name one thing this man has done in presidency that's benefited the country significantly? Not one thing. Not one thing. So he's basically sitting in office, watching the country go corrupt, and once he leaves office, the country is left with nothing, right? That's literally all it is. You guys keep electing these people onto presidency and all that, checking their background and everything. You gotta have conversations with this president and say, let's stop for a second, say, hey, what can we do? Because it feels like the president is just working with the forces around him and not talking to the people. He's not speaking with the people. He's not saying, what can I do to change this economy? Because my country's already gone corrupt. So what can I do? He's not doing anything.
No, he's not.
And once he leaves, the laugh will really be on the people. The laugh will really be on us, because the thing is, you guys there's still going to be these slum communities and the country going rogue. And what's going to lead to that? War between the people and the government. That's all it's going to lead to. Come on now. And it's not like this is the first time it's happened. Mommy, I did some of my research on Charles Taylor, I won't lie. And I've noticed how the gang started because they wanted him out of office. So they brought the shootings and the whole cannibalism thing and everything because they wanted government out of power. They wanted power. So when the people start getting angry, they're going to get angry. They're going to take you out of power, and you're going to the country's still going to be left with nothing. So either way, everyone's on both sides. People who are speaking out, they need to speak with the government, not just speak out. They need to start speaking with the government. The government needs to start listening. Yeah. That's all that needs to happen. The thing is, this is not even a democracy. This is all over the place.
That is true.
Like, there's no fundamentals set in. There's no rules set in.
So why are you getting fast about my country?
Because it's going corrupt, and I'm trying, I want this country to do something, because there is multiple countries in Africa that have exceeded significantly. Yeah. Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all of them, they're exceeding. And why? Because the people work with the government. So,
and the government listens.
And the government listens. The government takes things into order.
Yeah.
So this country is going really nowhere until you guys can find a good president. And at this point, how long does George Weah stay in presidency?
Until 2023 is election.
Until 2023.
Yeah.
So we have that. It's 2020 right now. Yeah. We have 3 years to build this country up. 3 years to build this country up. Let's see how much we can do in those 3 years. Because you guys talking about kicking this man out of office, you guys should be talking about ways that we can basically keep him afloat, right? Because
what do you mean by that?
Keeping him afloat means we have to find ways to communicate inside that community. Because here's the thing people do. When a leader doesn't know how to focus on his country, when he doesn't know how to control the people, not necessarily control them, but at least give freedom, obviously. Mm-hmm. But if he doesn't know how to keep the country in order, people are more concerned about throwing him out than keeping him in presidency. Yeah. We have to find ways to communicate with this man so that our only thought is not focused on him leaving presidency, but making a mark while he's in presidency.
And it comes back to listening. It comes back to listening and getting rid of the people who are around you, who are not making impact, who are not living up to their tasks, to holding accountable. So it's accountability. As a leader, you must be able to hold people accountable for their job.
And the fact that you couldn't even list one thing that he has been doing right. I mean, obviously, these actions take time to be put in place, but what are the actions that are being taken in time? Like, mommy, the thing you've been stating about the young boy getting burned and the school system and the sexual harassment and assault and all of that, and the rape and everything inside of that, and also the slum communities. Are there still gangs around? I don't even know if that's still gangs around. Sure. Like, those are big things. Those are
drugs.
Exactly. And I don't think the president's taking that into account. And even if he's taking that into account, he's trying to focus on other things, but he doesn't know those little things are going to turn into big things. And that's when the whole system's going to go corrupt. And those are major stuff. Mm-hmm. I think one of the biggest things, I'm not going to say he should pick one over the other, but the school system. Like, come on. Yeah. You want to create future leaders. And I think that all starts with the school system. Once you start fixing the school system, young children, they'll be coming home, they'll be learning. Yeah. They'll be going to school, they'll be learning.
They will be happy.
Transportation, is that a big thing in the country?
It is a big thing.
Because I've known you talk about your stories. Transportation, come on now. We want future engineers, we want future doctors, we want future presidents, we want future all this, but we're not even building the children's future. So you can't always expect good to come from bad. And when you start off bad, you're gonna do bad things until you can finally become good. And you're not gonna realize good until you're surrounded by good, until you can acknowledge good.
Why are you trying to tutor me about my country?
Because it's gone rogue. It's gone rogue. That's all I gotta say.
When you sit on the computer, just focus on your schoolwork.
I do. The fact that I didn't have to.
Country.
Yeah, but it had popped up in my recommended, and I decided to learn about Charles Taylor and everything, and the history.
Oh, please.
And yeah.
Talking business, I'd say.
I mean, and this should just be a heads up. The fact that I was raised in America and had to learn from the system and got to build my own thoughts and what I think about the system now shows that any kid in that country, if they're raised right and if they're coming from a good school system, they can do the same. They can speak out.
Yeah.
You can't expect to have a leader when you can't born one.
Yep.
You can't expect to have a leader when you can't create one.
Yep.
Like, you're creating people that are gonna soon go into slum communities, go into gangs, not be able to have access to transportation, and I think that's a big deal. Transportation as well.
Safe drinking water.
I think
just like the basic stuff. That's what government in Liberia cannot even provide for their citizens.
I think what a lot of countries do, and I'm gonna be honest, what I've noticed,
all of the presidents are rich.
Yes, the countries. I'm not going to say build off of other countries, but look around you. Look at the other countries in this continent of Africa. Look how they're progressing. Take in that, and then try to do it towards your own country.
That's it. That's
advancing.
So simple. But as soon as they get into power, the next thing they want to do, they want to build all their mansions. They want to steal from taxpayers. They don't even want to focus on programs, sustainable programs that are going to improve the living condition of vulnerable people.
At the end of the day, if the country goes
at the end of the day, these people, like you said, these people are going to rise up one day.
It's really sad because let's think back, maybe like 22 years ago in the country or whatever. Imagine there's a young child out there in the school system, low on transportation, doesn't have accessible transportation to get to school, has to walk every day, 3 miles, 4 miles, 30 miles all the time. Mm-hmm. Right? That's going to get tiring over a while. And the fact that girls are held at a higher rape chance or sexual harassment, that's even more scary because you're walking out alone. You have no transportation. When I'm to go to school, if I miss the bus or something like that, I'm protected. Yeah. I have transportation. I have a way to get there. I have every way to get there. I have food to get on the way, which is, I guess I would call sugar candy. But I have I have a lower chance of that even ever happening because I have transportation, I'm protected, and I'm put into a good school system that's teaching me all the facts and all the basic knowledge I need to know to build growth and build my opinions and build what I need to know.
Yeah.
But these children aren't getting that same, they're not getting that same advantage because what? The school system's corrupt. That's one. Transportation accessibility, I'm pretty sure for most students is very low because they won't have the funds to have a normal car or something like that. They won't have it. And I think a lot of the speakers that you're seeing on Facebook, George Weah or whoever's listening now, all the speakers that you're seeing on Facebook and all the people, not necessarily protesting, but speaking out against the corrupt system, I think you should look at them, pay attention to them, because these are the words of the people who have gone through the similar things and who have built off of that and who sometimes have, not all of them, but some who have came to America and said, hey, my whole country was corrupt. And I had to go through that corrupt system, and I built off of that, and I built my opinions, and I built my point of view, and now I can come back to my country and help my country better itself. That's just, it's facts. It's facts.
I gotta go to bed because I know you.
I think he understands it all. He just doesn't want to grasp it. That's what I think.
That's the end of the story.
That's the end of the story.
And he doesn't care.
I mean,
and he's just not the only leader who doesn't care. But are we going to be having people who just don't care and they call themselves leaders? No, they are not leaders. They are terrorists.
I don't think at this point the country can even pick a correct president.
What do you? Why you say so?
Because I feel like everyone, they just be putting these people into office and then they find out, oh, these people are stealing for them. They get all mad and stuff. Then they put another corrupt person in office. Like, it's the same thing.
I know, that's it. Oh my gosh. Good night, Fit.
Good night.
Nice.
I'm tired of this. I gotta go to work.
Nice chatting with you.
I got so heated over a country that's not even mine. I gotta do my work.
That's your forefathers' land.
Oh my God.
Your ancestors.